This is in the same universe as the Vanguard games. We have with us playing 4 exceptional role players playing undercover agents as they go into and extract a VIP, a genius level intellect. And with that, please introduce yourself, gentlemen, starting with yourself, Dean.
Dean with Gallows Humor Games. I'm playing Agent Jack Scipio, the Point Man. However, you know him today as Elias McCabe, a lawyer representing the interests of the Ibarra Domain.
Bacon with Better with Bacon. Today I'm playing Albert Chappell, but you know him as Marcus Lobanova, a mediator confessor for the Ibarra Domain.
What's going on, folks? My name is Uriah Edwards. My channel is my name, URIAH Edwards. And today I'm playing Reconnaissance and Elimination Droid Unit 2-337, or RED for short. But his cover is that of Bishop Alexinho de Pescado. I'm a bishop of Ibarra Domain, here to take care of business.
Hey everybody, it's Avery, son of Crispy, and I'll be playing today Manford Gladwell, reformed criminal underworld enforcer, and now a spy for the IIS. Cover ID Manuel Novo, personal assistant and security for His Holiness Bishop Alexinho de Pescado.
And with that, this covert team of highly trained operatives have made their way to the Mannix Protectorate, a bit of a corporate dystopia, a corporate oligarchy controlled by 4 megacorps. One in particular is of note. This is the Tau Mai Williams Syndicate. Leaders in very advanced biological, biotech, and pharmaceutical interventions. The team is here under a tight time schedule to liberate one of the top minds of the TMW syndicate, an indentured employee, as all employees are in the Mannix Protectorate, Dr. Walter Tano. He, through back channels, an agent here on this station, has expressed interest in defecting. And once that came to the attention of the Imperium, all other priorities were supplanted by this. This is the top mission. And with that, deplaning from a first-class berth in a starliner, a team of 4 religious pilgrims from the Ibarra Domain, here to investigate potential longevity drugs and treatments that would be important for them in their effort to live lives that stretch long enough to be there when the Watcher returns, to elevate those faithful to a higher dimension. Joining the contingent of 4 Yabaran delegates, VIPs and wealthy individuals crowd into the TMW debarkation and arrivals lounge, a large atrium in this massive industrial station. In this, there's people that are congregating with all sorts of different dress and different backgrounds, dialects of all sorts of languages filtering through the air. A corporate muzak plays in the background, and there, standing, waiting for the delegates from the Ibarra Domain, a woman in a business suit, flanked by 2 security guards wearing suits and looking very serious on either side next to her shoulder pads. She holds a small tablet. The tablet has a hologram that projects from it. The name on the hologram, Ybarra Delegation.
I step forward, passing the food that we were given on the plane, the snacks, over to Manuel. I meet the eyes of the woman and give a polite smile.
She bows deep. Your Eminence, she says formally. And she touches the nape of her neck. I am here. My name is Daria Fontaine. It is my honor to be the TMW delegate that's here to ensure that all of your needs are made. I have taken the liberty of making a private chef's table booking at a very exclusive restaurant, the Omari restaurant. And we don't have a lot of time before the conference. So if you could, Your Eminence, please follow me and my security detail here will make sure that everything is in order. But I imagine that you'd like, she looks at the food being passed to Manuel, perhaps some refreshments. She taps at the torque around her neck, and a coded transmission appears in Alexandro's vision, an IIS validation code. Her eyes linger on each one of the undercover agents.
Gripping my briefcase tightly and examining the situation, looking around, I approach Alexinho. Your Eminence, time is of the essence, but we must show our gratitude and, of course, join this little step away to this restaurant. I think it is wise. We mustn't make deals on an empty stomach, yes?
I rest a hand on Elias's shoulder. This is very good thinking. You have a good head about you, Elias.
Of course.
I turn to the woman, say, Miss Fontaine, lead the way.
Very good. Please, she turns in her immaculate dress and starts walking away. As there's a bit of a conflagration in the large atrium, a man wearing a TMW uniform is sprinting towards the open doors that lead to the spacecraft that have just arrived. Security agents, also wearing similar outfits to this, move quickly to intercept as there's shouts from the TMW man crying out for help until he's quickly rendered unconscious by a stun baton and then carried off to a side door to disappear from the atrium.
Is this...
Absent-mindedly opening one of the snacks, in between bites, leaning in. Doesn't look like the kind of hospitality that we're used to on Ibarra, eh, Your Holiness?
Returning his gaze. No, this is rather strange. I look over to Marcus. My friend, what do you make of this?
I approach very closely. Your Eminence, it's best that we not linger.
Miss Fontaine, pardon me for being so forward, but is this standard behavior when guests arrive?
She looks over at the security detail, the two large men in suits stretched to their tensile strength with muscles underneath. I apologize, Your Eminence, and honored guests. That appears to be an internal matter. I'm sure that gentleman will be getting the help he needs for his mental focus, she says. She gestures towards a tram that's pulled up just outside of the main demarcation lounge. And there the tram stops and a door slides open, well maintained. This will take us to the restaurant. Please, it's a private car. And she stands there at the open door of the tram.
As the panicked man was being carried away, my eyes dance up and down the security guards, trying to get a good look at the equipment that they have on them.
Go ahead and roll. A full readout. No firearms. A stun baton. Another baton that looks more like a nightstick. Some restraints and some vials as well. Look like some pharmaceuticals. Some syringes. Their communication gear is wired so they can sub-vocalize. And they are talking, communicating with others that are leading similar groups, delegates from other systems, into other trams that are waiting.
Step onto the train in my own voiceless communication. My voice rings out over our comms. All right, keep an open eye, folks.
Walking
I step
towards
into the tram behind Alexinho.
Following Marcus, I walk towards the tram. I put one foot over the threshold into the tram, and I stop and I turn and I look back at where the kerfuffle happened. Exhale, and get onto the tram.
Following the others, I crumple up the discarded snack pouches and shoot a gleaming smile, several gold teeth, knowingly at the security guards as I step behind the others, stooping below the door.
The security guards stiffen as Manny passes by. They both look at each other, nervous glances. A chime in the tram. Miss Fontaine also enters, gesturing at plush seats for the VIPs to seat themselves. She moves over to a small panel next to the door. It seems as though we've reached our weight capacity. Just one moment. And she leans out of the door to where the two security guards are. Look, I'm just going to take them over to the restaurant. Can you dispatch two to meet us there? We're at weight capacity. I did not realize that the bishop's assistant weighed as much as he does. Yes, and they look at her, and one of them says something under his breath, muttering. And the door closes as she steps back in. Go ahead.
Nope, you're good.
As the door closes, the tram smoothly accelerates. Her demeanor changes. She looks relaxed for just a moment.
Are you sure you can be safe with 4 people you don't know?
Oh, I know who you are. But I have to say, the Ybarra cover, IIS has really outdone themselves this time.
The Emperor's watching.
May he live long, and his protectful watch cover all Imperial citizens, even those of us in this hellhole.
I slump down heavily into a seat, arms behind my head. Well, if the Emperor is going to be paying for this, you don't happen to have any sort of hors d'oeuvres or anything that I could sample this fine place?
Oh, no. No, we are going to a restaurant. That's all part of the cover.
Oh, good. I was so concerned.
No. It's all not all fun and goods. We're going to be there very shortly. And then I have to be back in, well, you know.
Miss
Flashing a smile back.
Fontaine.
Oh, it's always fun, Miss Fontaine.
As fun as this is, I have a question for you. Where is
please go ahead.
the doctor?
Yes,
Is
Dr.
she
Tano.
is she there
made contact
already?
with him. Yeah. He's going to be speaking in about an hour and a half at the conference.
Now, preliminary reports told us, and stop me if I'm wrong, Marcus, that, well, he has a son. This is a wrinkle the Emperor was not expecting.
Yeah, she rubs the back of her neck. It's more than a wrinkle, I'm afraid.
You won't leave
All right,
without
so
him?
I don't know how much you know about this place, but parents don't raise their kids here. The corporate nurseries raise the kids.
But of course.
Anyhow, this is the issue. It seems as though our good doctor, bit of a genius, he knows his son. This is unusual. Most of the time, parents, again, they're separated right away. The corporate takes over. It's quite the mill. At any rate, he somehow has been able to find out that he has a son at one of these corporate nurseries. She says, it's too dangerous for me to carry this information, but I can tell you this. I've identified who the boy is. I'll try to get you an image. But the doctor is saying that when we lift him out of here, the boy has to come with.
Question. Does the good doctor know what his son looks like?
Yes, and that's unfortunate. Because otherwise we could have just grabbed any of the little kids around here and it would, but he knows. He knows. And he's been using whatever influence he's gained from his genius level intellect to follow his boy.
Based on surveillance in the Mannix system, I would probably venture to guess, and you will know better than I, you've been here, that he's got help.
Yes, he'd have to have help with this.
Right. More contingencies arise. We've been here for 10 minutes. What have you been doing?
Me? Well, been sniffing around. This is a deep cover assignment. I've been here now for 5 years. It's, anyway, I'm a bit of a linguist.
I see.
You should know there's a number of delegates here that are coming for the first time. Not just yourselves. I find that a little suspicious. I'm used to seeing the same faces. There's lots of new ones. Been trying to keep tabs on it, but I think news of this Dr. Tano and his research is spreading quickly.
I see.
Other interested parties are lining up for the buffet, it seems.
She takes a few steps over in her stiletto high heels, looks over. Remarkable. I've never seen a red unit before. Wow. Yeah, that's right.
Do we know the disposition of these groups? Do we know if any of these groups would want to eliminate Tano as an abomination to whatever horrible thing they believe?
No. I think it's more likely that they'd have the same goal that we have.
I see.
How unfortunate. Oh, unfortunate for them, but fortunate for us, eh there, Sparky?
I give a look over to Manny. Don't say anything. Turn back to Daria.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a nursemaid, a person that perhaps is interfaced with the young repeatedly?
Yes, I think so. It's a little hard to tell because those staff are moved purposely around the various nurseries so that they don't form long-term attachment to the kids. They keep moving them around. But I suspect that through some scheduling mishap or something, or maybe meddling by the doctor himself, come to think of it, maybe there is someone that is on the inside of the nursery.
Indeed.
And we're sure it's the caretakers that are rotated, not the children.
No, it's both. It's both. Because connections between the kids are seen as a bit of an impediment as well to good little corporate employees.
So do we have any idea where this child currently is?
Yes. That
Okay.
I think I've narrowed down.
Excellent.
Gentlemen, it should become clear at this point that we are not extracting one, but two people. This has now doubled our workload based on prior projections in the debrief. We must work to secure this child, because without the child, Tano's going nowhere. Unless we forcibly take him. I look at Manny and smile. Which we
Flashes
may have
gold
to
tooth back.
do.
Yeah, I'd say it's more one and a bonus. Hey, Manny?
Oh, he's coming. We just, how willingly is he going to come?
Of that I have no doubt, Manny. Your skills are legendary.
Oh, you flatter me. Counselor.
Wait,
I only speak
Manny?
the truth.
The Butcher of Artem 4?
Well, not just that, but you remember
So
his
they
work
say.
on the Nexigen Dynamics job?
Oh, I thought he had a life I thought he had multiple life sentences.
2. He had a good
The
lawyer.
Emperor's good
You're
graces
way bigger than I
smiled
thought you
on
would
me.
be. The tram
Well-
starts to slow.
While this exchange happens, my brain begins going through the contingencies set with this new information of an extra warm body to take care of. Begin to construct, and sort of muttering idly to myself, cryopods, how many cryopods? We know there's a commercial. And what of the, I speak up to Daria, and what of the doctor's indentured servitude to the system?
Well, she says, we can maybe talk about this a little later, but in brief, these little corporate drones, they're not allowed to leave their positions. What you saw there in the departure and arrivals lounge, well, that was someone that was trying to make a break for it. It's strictly not allowed. She, as the tram slows now, coming to its station, she points out at a large vending machine. There's a bunch of employees lining up. You see, they come and they get their dose. There's not a lot that's illegal per se here. In fact, they're encouraged to have what would be elsewhere very expensive habits, but it keeps them docile.
I turn my head towards Manny and I say, looks like there's a place to establish a crime syndicate right here, Manny, if this doesn't work out with IIS.
Yeah, looks like it could be pretty lucrative.
Daria moves towards the door as the tram comes to a stop. The problem is that you'd be competing with the biggest criminal of them all,
Oh, you can tell.
TMW themselves. 2 men in
Poor
suits stand outside the tram as the door opens.
Do we know these men?
Yes, our security detail has arrived. Thank you, gentlemen. I hope that you enjoyed the tram. It wasn't too long. She steps out, polished again, onto the platform of the tram station and then gestures for the rest of the Ybarra Domin to follow.
Step
Now
up.
slightly, hand extended. Your Holiness, please.
I give a look of annoyance before the veneer of piety goes back up. A polite grin as I step out. Thank you, and thank you to the gentleman standing outside.
I follow Alexinho. I step down off the tram. I turn, put my hand on the forearm of one of the cross-armed guards, and I look at his face very intently, studying the details of it. You're doing fine work here, gentlemen. And I follow the group.
The expression of the guard doesn't change. His expression doesn't look quite right.
I follow McCabe out the door. I stop at the guard, square up to him, put my hands on his shoulders. Thank you so much for keeping us safe during our visit here.
A twitch at his eyelid, slight twitches of his facial muscles betray chemical augmentation. Daria leads the way.
Following after the group, I step out, inhale deeply, gathering in the smells of the two guards. Clap my hand on the back one. Fine work you're doing. You should eat more, though, and continue on.
The guard steps forward, immediately turns with an aggressive look as if he's getting ready to torque, and then he checks himself, the mass of Manuel, and then starts muttering something into his comms.
I listen.
Two other security guards waiting for other VIP. Their heads snap up, all four looking at Manuel.
I also, while smiling, listen in, focusing on if I can pick up any traces of subvocal communication.
Augmented hearing. Roll with Boone.
Cool.
Success. The guards exchanging panicked. Where did this one come from? How big is that? What is the mass on him? That's crazy. What is this? It's a Ybarra thing. What? Those religious zealots? What are they feeding that guy? We need some more men up here. Yeah, call dispatch. We need 2 more. Now make that 3 more. Now make it 4 more.
Smile grows a little bit as I watch them, and I, in a couple strides, catch back up to Bishop. Your Holiness, it seems like these people weren't prepared for the conversion of a man such as myself.
Look back to him. And it appears that we were not expecting them to be so restless.
Indeed.
Did he turn towards you, Manny, as if to strike you?
It would have taken all of my newfound compassion to let that man strike me and continue on, but the bishop has saved my soul.
Yes, this is true. As we
walk. It did seem that way.
However, a bit touchy for personal security, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I would say that, Counselor.
They're keyed up. I don't trust them. We have to keep an eye on them.
As we continue to walk, I whisper to Elias, it appears that they were not, they do not seem the type that are imperial. Something about them seems artificial. Or at the very least, they're under the influence of some substance.
Well, they hand it out like Tic Tacs here, don't they?
I do not think it is the same. No, it is... I hold up a pinky. Something similar to what I have in here.
Ah, Mannix protectorate conditioning. Keep them on the edge, overload their adrenal glands, neural implantation, fast reflexes. Could be anything.
2 twitchy guards follow the group as Daria stops in front of a entrance to this Omari facility. Other VIP groups visible already seated inside. She has a few words with the doorman, who then steps aside, drawing back a velvet rope, allowing entrance into this exclusive corporate restaurant. Others wearing expensive suits, long gowns, congregate here. The view is impressive inside. Large windows show the expanse of stars. And the Mannix homeworld, or main system, there with its swirling toxic clouds below. Fine crystal is laid out. Others are already getting served fine food. Daria walks with purpose towards a back room, pausing, gesturing for the bishop to follow.
Look back to the others and continue following after.
Keep up with the bishop and follow after him.
I'll go in after Manny.
Several eyes of other delegates and VIPs follow the group of Yabaran in their particular religious garb. A few of them muttering the size of Manuel. The two security guards follow in behind, but stop outside the door.
I absently-mindedly rub a necklace containing the Watcher. My eyes flick to the stiletto heels, and I follow the rest of the group, glancing at the crowd.
Miss Fontaine stops at this door. It slides open. A beautiful table and banquet has been set up. Chairs are already there. As is another man in a suit. He, with his spectacles, he nods and gestures. Please, our friends from Ybarra, this is the first visit we've had from your system. It is good to establish new ties, he says. Please, have a seat. My name, I am honored to meet you. My name is Arslan. I am a sales manager here, one of the vice presidents of TMW. I've been sent to understand that your interests align very much with our own. I wanted to talk to you about arrangements.
I step forward.
Yes, please, Bishop, please.
Indeed, and it is a pleasure to be welcomed into your fine establishment with such warm welcome and hospitality. My name is Bishop Alexinho de Pescado. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and I extend a hand to shake his.
A manicured hand reaches forward. The gentleman takes the hand. With practiced ease, he shakes.
A gesture to the others. This is my assistant and my esteemed colleague, Manuel Nobo. Gesture over.
Smile and bow my head at him.
And this is our
yes. He
mediator.
Doesn't linger long on Manuel.
Our mediator, Marcus Lobanova.
He takes a step towards Marcus, extending his hand. Mediator, excellent.
I disregard his hand and place my hands on his shoulders, squaring up to him, look him dead in the eye. It is a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for having us.
He has a brief flash of discomfiture, but then it recovers with practiced ease of someone who's been in many sales environments. He squares back his shoulders and then smiles with the perfectly capped teeth, white, brilliantly white. Of course, the honor is all ours. And he then turns his head with a smooth transition over to Elias. And you, I suppose, are the legal advice.
You suppose correctly, my friend. It's a pleasure to meet you. You can call me Elias.
Takes a step towards and with two hands reaches forward to shake Elias's hand.
Ah, yes, of course. Your suit is spectacular. Where did you get it? Who is your tailor?
It is custom made here in Mannix. We have wonderful tailors. I can perhaps arrange a fitting.
You think they would fit someone my size?
He looks a flash of annoyance across his otherwise perfect composure. It would be a special order, but yes, I'm sure. Even for other employees, right, Bishop? Yes. Yes.
No,
Please
I
have a
don't.
seat. Have a seat. Let's not stand here. Please. The chef has prepared an amazing meal for you to enjoy.
I gesture to the others. Please take your seats. Manuel, I believe that couch in the corner will work sufficiently. Yes?
Yes, of course. And I reach to pull back the seat for the bishop.
I take my seat, my back towards, so that I'm facing the exit of the room.
I remove my cape with a flourish. I place it on the back of a seat, and I sit down.
I walk towards where Arslan is sitting, and I sit next to him side by side.
He smiles at all, except for Manuel.
Who sits down heavily in the couch.
It creaks. Miss Fontaine glides over to the corner of the room where she stands motionless, all but invisible. Servers come out of another door opposite of the entrance door, access to the kitchen, and this chef's table is quickly populated with succulent dishes, while the VP of sales launches into his pitch, explaining that there have been multiple breakthroughs thanks to a brilliant mind, a Dr. Tano, who, in just a short while, if you would be willing, will be happy to explain in his keynote address at a conference that's being held not far from here some of the amazing things that would speak to your very needs: longevity, vitality, well past the 2nd and 3rd century, breaking through that ennui barrier, modifying some neurochemistry, and how that would be helpful for social cohesion, of course.
Oh, bless the Watcher. This sounds exciting.
Very.
Indeed it does. We look forward to hearing from the good doctor.
Oh, he's quite dry, I must warn you. But it's his mind and the discoveries that we here at TMW have been able to bring to the market in such a short period of time.
Brilliance often breeds personality quirks. I'm sure that they're perfectly reasonable.
As you say. He then goes into another practice sales pitch, talking about supply chains and logistics that can be handled all via TMW's vertically integrated delivery systems.
My eyes pick apart every sentence, every facial expression, every eye movement, every hand gesture, studying him like prey.
He is a consummate salesman. Practiced to the point of where it's become his personality. He has no personality other than the current pitch. But that pitch has been refined, presented to those that are very astute.
Arslan.
Yes, Elias, please.
You've regaled us with all of the benefits of this technology. And as you can see by the expression of Marcus and Alexinho, they are deeply interested in this technology. And you're doing a very good job. I'm surprised you're not the president of sales. VP is still high. However, it has to make sense for us. So while I share the excitement of my counterparts, I'd like to see the documentation you put together.
Of course. Please forgive me. In my excitement over these new developments, I've neglected to provide you with all of the documentation that a solicitor of your caliber would expect. He gestures over, and Miss Fontaine approaches the table with data pads that she places down in front of McCabe and Lobanova and the bishop. Nothing is given to Manuel.
I raise a hand.
I do as well. Please, the documentation for my assistant. He must be able to assist me in this adventure.
Oh, I apologize. Miss Fontaine, please. She nods and then leaves the room briefly.
I reach a hand over to Manuel. The book, please. The holy book.
He nods, puts down the third plate of food, and pulls out his set of scriptures and reverently hands it to the bishop.
I begin to idly flip through them.
Well, the polished salesman stands from his untouched plate of food and nods to everyone. I must apologize. I have another delegation that I am expected to greet, but please accept my invitation to hear Dr. Tano speak at the conference center. You'll still have plenty of time to finish this specially tailored food. I believe our chef has tried his best to duplicate your own system's top dishes. Hopefully it suits your palates.
Before you depart, a word of advice. I slowly slide the chair and stand up and look in his eye. If you ever want to become the president of sales and not just the vice president of sales, my recommendation is to not ignore our colleague who happens to be the most dangerous man in the room. Not by design, but by necessity, you see. The next delegation you meet, I recommend a bit more decorum before we all leave this place. You understand?
I launch out of my chair. Whoa. Let's not get off on the wrong foot. Manny is clearly differentiated. We're here to receive the sales pitch. We received the sales pitch. Thank you kindly, sir. I deeply appreciate your hospitality.
I shoot out my hand and catch his hand, not crushing it, but firmly, like iron, and smile at him from the couch. I forgive you for his
polished facade cracks. He takes his hand back, looking at. He reveals, pulling his French cuff shirt away to reveal a small bracelet that's now deformed around his wrist. He looks at Elias. His facade breaks for a moment, and he looks angry. I apologize. I have to admit, I am at a disadvantage. I am not familiar with your traditions. I will educate myself better for the next time. I thank you. I thank you all, and I do hope that you'll see value in what TMW is offering. I think this could be a mutually beneficial arrangement. And he looks now at Manuel, and he purposely bows first to Manuel and then Elias and Marcus and the bishop. Your Eminence, thank you very much, and please enjoy our hospitality. Miss Fontaine, as she's entering back into the room with another data pad, which she hands over to Manuel, looking at the strange situation with the top salesman of TMW examining a crumpled metal band around his wrist. And now please accept my apology, and I will hopefully see you in just a moment as the facade comes back up over the...
Now on my feet, approaching Arslan, I say, I must apologize for my assistant's behavior. This is cultures tend to clash and these things happen. Please, if I could see the bracelet, I believe it or not, in my spare time, I am a bit of a metal craftsman myself. Perhaps I could attempt to fix it.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. Good Bishop. The bracelet is a combination of precious metals wound together, but there's circuitry there too.
I press further. Please, I insist. It is the least I can do.
With some reluctance, he unclasps the bracelet and says, "Well, I mean, that's very kind of you. I can get a replacement. It's just an ID chip. It's all. It's nothing really." And he drops it into the bishop's hands. "But I thank you. That's very kind."
We are not in the practice of throwing old things away. We are in the practice of preservation and longevity. It would be my honor.
Says the Watcher. I bow.
Right. I have to say, I find your beliefs fascinating, and they align so well as he slips back into his sales pitch, so well with our mission statement here at TMW of expanding the horizons of our biological limitations, right? Moving
Why don't
towards.
you tell us more
higher
about the
dimensions.
vertical integration while the good bishop repairs what was damaged?
Well, are you able to? He turns to the bishop. Would you mind if I borrow your man here? I have to go to another engagement, but I'm happy to learn more and discuss our vertical integration. We have the best logistics, really, in this entire sector of the galaxy. It's absolutely second to none. I'd be happy to explain.
I look to Marcus and say a phrase in the Ibaran language that essentially translates to "you are your own person."
I look to Manny and I bow. I look to the bishop and I bow. Eyes cast toward the floor. I look to McCabe and I bow, eyes raised, searching for a reaction.
I give a slow nod and bow back.
Let's go.
Oh, please follow me, he says, leaving the room.
I follow him out the room.
Miss Fontaine stands there. What? She looks like she wants to say something, but she holds her peace.
Miss Fontaine, join us.
She sits down. She looks at the food. She looks over at Manuel. How are you feeling?
I feel fine as I very neatly set the fork back down on the fourth plate of food and stack it on the plates next to me.
I was always nervous that they drugged the food here.
If they have, it's nothing I haven't done before.
I go over to one of the plates of food, untouched, as I have no need for organic fuel. I take a plate and scoop up some food and begin to masticate it in my mouth, reading a composition readout.
The expected composition. But on top of that, sure enough, there are some psychotropics and other exotic drugs that have been just lightly laced into the food.
What's the verdict?
With prejudice, I spit the food out to one side.
I chuckle and say, thought I tasted something familiar as I run my finger through the sauce of the top plate and lick it.
Manny, be careful. Anyone else who took a bite of that stuff, they put something in this.
Not yet.
I wonder, well, you probably have nothing to worry about. It's just to loosen the inhibitions, right? Make the negotiations go a little smoother.
Oh, no. They probably should have thought about that the moment they saw me.
She looks over, her eyes widen.
I've never been good with inhibitions.
Manny, mind yourself.
Oh, I'm just playing around.
Walking back outside of the restaurant, the sales VP turns, explaining to Marcus, you see, we have our own internal fleet of ships, but not only that, with the right negotiations, we can also set up remote printing facilities. In other words, we are prepared for long-term commitments. We could even talk about some licensing agreements where production's moved much closer, maybe even in system. It's rare, but I think with the right commitment and the right licensing and your very sharp lawyer, I'm sure we could come across something. As he's walking out of the restaurant, he stops, turns, looks back at Marcus.
This sounds wonderful. I'm very, very interested in all of this. I would love to be able to see if we could arrange some sort of licensing agreement so that we could make this in-house. And as far as long-term arrangements go, I'm sure that you're aware that we are very interested in the longest of terms.
Well, this is very good news. And tell me, if you don't mind me asking, what's your feel so far? The good bishop, he's interested, yes, in what we have to offer?
Well, I am interested, and that means he is interested.
Excellent. I love speaking to those that can make decisions. And
we would love to spend more time with you. Where are you headed exactly right now? You said there are other delegates?
Yes. I have a delegation, excellent customers, repeat customers. I'm meeting them in one of our labs. It's not far from here. In fact, just a brief walk.
Oh, interesting.
Perhaps you'd like to join the tour.
Well, we do have that keynote that you invited us to.
Oh, yes. Everyone will be there, including myself, of course.
Is the good Dr. Tano at this lab? Maybe I could sneak in and get a conversation with him real quick before the keynote?
The sales VP leans in close to Marcus. Well, you didn't hear it from me, but yeah, he's going to be there.
Very interesting.
But you know what?
I would love to meet him. Let's go.
Okay. He gestures over, and two uniformed security guards detach themselves from the front of the building of the restaurant as he starts walking over the concourse towards a building in the distance, labeled, of course, TMW prominently. Passing by employees that queue up in front of a vending machine, taking pills, and syringes, and other hypodermics from the machine. The sales VP ignores all of the worker bees. Back in the private room at the restaurant, Miss Fontaine stands up, straightens out her dress. Okay. I've been able to confirm the boy is in a nursery. I've got the number of the nursery. It's nursery number 27. I've got his name. His name is Cordell.
Cordell Tono?
No, he doesn't know. He doesn't know the last name.
Right.
Holding the bracelet.
In fact, he probably doesn't know that the doctor's been following his progress.
Bracelet in hand, I look up. Wait, do you mean that we're going to have to explain to this kid that his dad is trying to get him out of here?
She looks down at the bracelet. Where did you get that? Do you know what that is?
I might have squished it.
You squished that? I thought those things were unbreakable.
There's been lots of things I've been told are unbreakable.
No. You don't understand. That's a senior VP level ID you have there.
The gravity of it seems like an awful reckless thing to be leaving around with people you just met.
How did you get it? Those guys never take those off. I've been trying to get. She shows her own slender arm, a decorative bracelet around it. I mean, this is the best I could get after 5 years.
Miss Fontaine, it's called tradecraft. You put your enemy off balance, then he becomes a little more susceptible to things in the spirit of cohesion and cooperation and sales. Just a little push, and he became compliant, which is precisely the intelligence I was looking for.
Listen,
you're welcome.
I know I shouldn't be asking this, but I understand. You're team lead, yes? Look, this is a dead-end posting. I haven't had any contact other than just the regular drops forever. Can you bring me on the team? I can help. I can help you guys out. I know the lay of the land. You can put a good word in. Get me out of here. I'm done.
Miss Fontaine, your service to the Emperor, who is, as you know, always watching, has been exemplary. I'm sure.
Thank you.
Indeed. I'm sure we can figure something out.
All right, well, what do you need me to do? Like, get me out of this place. It's awful here.
Miss Fontaine, I need you to complete the current mission before we talk about extracting you to a new mission.
She looks a little deflated. Yes, sir, yes. I'm
Roll
sorry.
your shoulders back, miss. The Emperor is watching. This is of the utmost importance. Blank check.
She now takes a step back, much subdued. Of course, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We will succeed, and you will get a new posting. You have my word.
Yes, sir, she says. She straightens up to attention.
Scanning the bracelet, I'm trying to get a good read on the underlying code, examining it for encryption, ultimately seeing how risky it is to try to copy this thing.
Roll. This is high level encryption. It would be very difficult to copy, but it's still working. The housing is bent, but the ID chip still reads.
Well, what is it?
I look over to Manny. You did it once. You think you could do it again? As I toss the bracelet over to him.
I catch it in one hand. Take a look at it. You want me to squish it again?
Well, maybe not so violently. I point a finger.
This is our ticket into restricted space, gentlemen. Keep it intact.
Look over the casing, just holding it in 2 fingers. I just apply a little bit of pressure around and find the breaking point, and I just snap it off. Throw the opened container back to Alexinho.
Within the delaminated metallic cavity of this bracelet, I gingerly extract a small chipboard. I place it into a pocket. And
What are your findings?
I chuck the empty case, the cosmetic bracelet back to Manuel. Try to make that look pretty as I walk over to Elias, holding up the chip.
With those hands?
I just kind of keep crimping it in a circle, working it, and be like, hold it up to Miss Fontaine. Does that look good to you?
It looks like it's been through a blender. What are you doing with that?
No, I mean, come on. You squint at it a little bit, and I'm sure it's just stylized, right?
She, with some effort, takes the bracelet off her hand, and then passes it over. So this is what they look like.
Holding the chip in my hand. This is what's going to get us into any door we want.
The doors to the laboratory are guarded by several armed men in suits. The first firearms now visible on the station. As the senior VP of sales exchanges words with the guards, and they step aside, leading into a gleaming, futuristic laboratory. Another VIP
halfway through
group
the
is-
threshold, and I go to pull my cloak around my shoulders, noticing that I'd left it back at the restaurant. Watcher's gaze. Sir, I am so sorry. I must go recover my cloak. I know the way. You've shown it to me. I shall return. Deepest apologies. I sprint before I can get an answer.
But wait, it's just brief. He calls after, and he turns, says something to the guards, and then disappears into the building.
I walk over to one of the windows, arms clasped behind my back. My eyes over to Miss Fontaine, almost in a beckoning fashion, and I walk towards and just look out.
She walks over next to Elias, a respectful distance away, and then stands at attention. Sir,
please relax.
What are you thinking?
I apologize for my outburst. This has been one surprise after another. You are a fantastic operative, a boon to the Empire, and one of the best I've ever worked with in the IIS. Continue your good work. You've made incredible inroads. We desperately need you now, or we will not succeed. Do you understand?
Well, I understand. And yes, sir, my briefing did say that I provide all assistance possible. If I have any contacts whatsoever, we can use them up. I mean, my orders were fairly clear. Whatever you ask for.
Miss Fontaine, I'm not sir, I'm Elias, unless you want to get a shot.
Yes. And then she pats her. I have a little bit of IS tech on me. Otherwise, you're absolutely right. She pats a small little inner her suit jacket. There's a small pocket. She pats the pocket.
I reach over and put a hand on her shoulder. You're doing great work. I walk away.
Look over to Manuel. Did she give you her bracelet?
She did, and I very carefully extend the uncrimped bracelet back to the bishop.
I take it in hand with the VP chip next to it. The two, the one crumpled bracelet and this pristine one, similar in visual aspects, but of course physicality, as one is deformed. I set the two, the bracelet and the chip next to one another. I begin to, I try to flash a rudimentary copy of the ID onto the put together bracelet.
Yep. It goes smoothly. Success. In fact, incredibly smooth. Marcus.
I re-enter through the door, out of breath.
What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. I have a bead on Tano. If we move quickly, we may be able to extract him before the keynote.
Really? Miss Fontaine says.
What?
I was following the senior VP. We were having a very nice conversation about logistics, whatever. And I asked him who we were going to see, who the next sales pitch was to. He said it was recurring business, which means we're in no danger of a newer diplomat, as we are, posing a threat at this current moment. I also asked him if Tano might be there because we were headed to a lab. He said, I didn't hear it from him, but yes, Tano is said to have been there. So my thinking is once the keynote happens, everyone's going to know where he is. Right now, only we know where he is. So it may be in our best interest to act.
Look,
I'll look to you, McCabe. And as I say this, I walk over to my chair, my previous chair, grab my cloak, and throw it around my shoulders.
Elias, I don't mean to speak out of turn, but we have no time to waste.
None. I walk over
Grab
the table
him, grab
quickly.
the kid.
I grab my briefcase.
Sir, she says, Miss Fontaine says, it's nursery 27.
Yes.
And and she pulls out the data pad that she has, small executive model, and she says, and this is what he looks like. And she shows the picture of the boy.
Perfect. Thank you. There's definitely some commonalities between the two. Indeed.
You can see they both have kind of red hair. This is Dr. Tano, she says. This is a promotional piece.
Yes. I remember.
At any rate, the nurseries are guarded just in case one of the parents tries to make contact.
I see. I assume that Dr. Tano could not waltz in there and talk to his son, even with his prestige.
No, absolutely not. Not allowed.
And the son does not know the father exists, correct?
No.
Very well. Let's move.
Where is Nursery 27?
She takes a step over to Marcus, pulls out the pad, and she lays out a map. So we're here. It's about 2 levels down next to the hydroponics dome.
I checked that against the route that I just walked to get to the lab where Tano may be located.
Opposite direction.
Well, we're headed in the opposite direction to get Tano, but I feel like our time is we're on a clock. So I think we recover Tano. We maybe attempt to get his son if we're able. And then we get out of here.
Agreed.
I'm not making the call, though. It's you're the lead, McCabe. It's up to you.
It's the right call. We need to get Tano first, no matter what. We just have to give him assurances that we are in fact getting his child. Lead the way, Marcus.
Oh, wait, she says, Miss Fontaine, before you go, you should know I was the contact. I was the one that was talking to Dr. Tano. It was completely by accident, but I have been the contact.
Very well.
He won't know you. So
you come with us. It's that simple.
I can come with you. Yes, I can come with you. If for some reason something happens to me or we're separated, there's a code word. Valentine.
Very well. Valentine, I'll look around the room.
Understood.
She straightens out. Again, her business attire. Opens the door. Waves off some security personnel that start to congregate. There's 4 of them now, all looking at Manuel.
I grab one of the steak knives from the table and turning around, place it into a compartment in my wrist. Pocket the bracelet. Hide the chip in another compartment. So, we going?
Lead the way,
Stand
Marcus.
up off the couch, flexing it back into shape, stretching out. Yes, Your Holiness, I think it's time for some liturgy.
Then there is no time to waste. Marcus, please lead the way.
Your Eminence. I bow, turn, walk out the door, stop in front of one of the security guards, square up to him, place my hands on his shoulders and say, "Thank you again. Thank you so much." And I turn to lead.
The security guard looks awkward. Stiffens a little bit under the touch. Eye twitching.
I follow out with the rest.
I likewise trail the group.
Miss Fontaine even in heels, jogs slightly to catch up to Marcus. In a low tone. Where were you? Were you in the lab? Is that where we're headed? She looks up ahead.
Yes, we were headed into the lab, which means the only routing that I know of is highly visible, and there's definitely security posted out front. So
Yeah.
We're going to need your help.
Well, there's no way they're going to let us in the front door, she says. There's employee entrance. They don't let the employees go through the front doors. That's just for the sales team and VIPs.
My eyes dart around the hallway. I look for a restroom.
There, the universal sign of restroom.
Just a second. I walk in.
I turn back when he says just a second. I pause, continue my conversation with Miss Fontaine. So how tightly guarded are the employee entrances? Is there security stationed? Do we need any sort of...
I walk up to Marcus and Daria. Great mediator. There is... You were walking with Mr. Arslan, yes?
Yes.
It would stand to reason that he is probably still in the room, waiting for your return, yes?
Yes, I told him I would return shortly.
Then
Probably should have mentioned that.
that is our avenue into the entrance. I look to Daria.
Yes, it is.
And perhaps we should be a little bit more inconspicuous about the topics of our conversation, especially security and such.
Oh, of course, she just bows. Yep.
Pardon me, Your Eminence. In my hurried excitement, I lost my composure.
Do not
I square up to
apologize.
Daria. I place my hands on her shoulders. Thank you so much, Daria. Thank you for everything.
But yes, and then with a grand gesture, she gestures towards the lab. Security guys, one of the security guys is talking and following him behind manual.
Entering one of the stalls, I pull out my variance tool and I try to wirelessly connect to any of the security apparatuses in the hallway.
Several nodes appear. Roll.
You all right in there, Elias? Say wordlessly through comms.
Give me a second.
Failure.
I'm going through commands, looking at code, typing known brute force measures. Security's tight. I radio back to Alexinho. I can't access their security systems from here. Could be a signaling issue. I'll be right out.
We may not need it.
Roger that. Exit the stall. Join my compatriots in the hallway.
Stand dutifully behind Alexinho, training my ears once more to listen to the sub-vocalizations of the guards.
Assume we're being watched, gentlemen. Always.
Success. The guards are relaying that there's been a change in plans, and now the Ybarra delegation is standing outside of a secure lab. They're asking for confirmation as to what to do. And frustrated when the large number of attendees for the conference is delaying the response. They've just been told to stand by.
I look to the others, and then back to Marcus. Perhaps a large gathering such as this one might not be the best first impression for the good doctor. See, I pull out the bracelet. I have the bracelet for Mr. Arslan. Perhaps it would be best if myself and Mr. Marcus would interface with the doctor, interface with Mr. Arslan, and maybe you all go and continue to enjoy, and I kind of give a knowing look, enjoy the wonderful food that has been set out for us.
A brilliant plan, of course. I turn back to the guards. As I walk away, I try to access their communications so I can communicate with them.
Roll.
Thumbing the tool, the multi-tool.
Success. Access. The nodes open up.
I attempt to change my voice to that of Arslan.
Roll. Success. Flawless.
Sorry.
Arslan's voice.
Gentlemen, there seems to be a bit of a holdup for my Ibarra delegation friends at the front. Please, they are permitted to enter. We are trying to make a multi-billion-dollar deal. If you would please not interfere.
Yes, right away, sir. Yes, yes. Okay. And they gesture, and the security detail of 4 men move quickly to the front of the lab. Talk to the 2 armed guards at the front of the lab, and
A shark's grin on my face. I stop and turn around and rejoin my compatriots.
One of the armed guards is talking to the security guard. Heightened hearing picks up. What about that guy? Is he even going to fit in the door?
I lean into Alexinho. Your Holiness, it seems like these people, again, are not used to the conversion of a man such as myself in this location, and are a little skittish about my presence here.
This is true. It is unfortunate that so many people are so quick to judge a book by its cover. Worry not, though. Let your actions and your character speak much louder than your frame. I give him a serious look. A reminder.
And I tap him gently on the back in a sort of code to let him know it's like we are being actively monitored by security at the gate.
Marcus.
Your Eminence, come. The VP is waiting for us.
Yes.
We should go and rejoin.
A change of tune, I say.
The modern laboratory inside the corridor is immaculate, spotless. And a slight polite round of applause echoes through the hallways further on as the main laboratory has a gathering of individuals standing around politely listening to a man in a lab coat give a technical description of what he's been working on. Around the projection, a complicated helix of codes and spins suspended in this laboratory as Dr. Tano himself explains to a delegation of what he's been working on. They all politely applaud as he stops with an expectant look. His eyes dart over to see the newcomers arriving.
Polite grin on my face. I look to Marcus. My eyes scanning around looking for Arslan.
He stands there, talking to another man that's been watching. The man has a large cap and formal regal robes. Arslan nods at the bishop, smiles.
Mr. Arslan, apologies for having to leave so quickly like that. If the Watcher wasn't watching, Lord knows I'd leave my head. Bishop, I believe you've been able to repair what was broken, yes?
Indeed, as I reach into a pocket on my jacket, holding out the bracelet. It should, as I unclasp it, might I have your hand, sir?
Oh, yes, he says, whispering, so as not to disturb the good doctor in his technical explanation of the sequencing that he's been working on.
Clasp
He
the
extends
bracelet
his,
on.
it snaps in. Amazing. You do fine work. Doesn't look broken at all.
Thank you.
I'm impressed.
The bishop is a man of many talents. Oh, but I forget myself. I square up to the man with the tall hat, and I place both of my hands on his shoulders. And I say, hello, greetings.
Audible gasp from his attendants as contact is made on his shoulders. What? They immediately move to interpose themselves between Marcus and their charge.
I recoil immediately. Apologies. I must not be aware of custom or protocol. Deepest apologies. I bow instead over and over again, profusely.
A look of contempt. The man looks down his nose at Marcus.
You must forgive my friend. Please, we are newcomers to this place. Your name was, sir?
He doesn't respond, but one of his attendants does. This is the Visa himself, His High Eminence, Prince of the Kingdom. I think we're done here. The Visa turns, walks away as a panicked Arslan looks, following at his heels. I'm very sorry, sir. It's a breach of decorum. I was not expecting so many of the... As he tries to patch the relationship. For a moment, only the Yabara delegation is in the laboratory, along with the doctor and two obviously augmented security men. The doctor, interrupted in his explanation, turns. Oh, well, as I was saying, these sequences here are very interesting. If we modify these, a chime goes off and one of the bodyguards says, Doctor, 10 minutes. We have to be at the conference center.
Oh, Doctor, we have 10 minutes. Please do continue. We're very, very interested. We are prospective licensees of your particular technology. I would love for you to continue for as long as you can, and then maybe we could follow you to the keynote.
Oh, yes, he says, and he starts again in his description. Very technical, highly advanced.
And please,
the security guards look at one another and take a step back. One of them speaks into his cuff.
Doctor, please pardon me. I didn't mean to clear the room. Clearly it was some sort of cultural misunderstanding. I didn't mean to deny you your audience.
Oh, well, it's fine. I'm going to be talking. The sales team wanted me to be here in the lab, but really I'm not going to be going over anything different at the conference, and it's probably just better to do it at the conference, he says.
No, I'd love to hear what you have to say here if you don't mind. And then under my breath, Valentine.
He stops speaking for a moment. In mid-sentence, he looks up, his eyes widen. He looks at the four quickly, his eyes darting between the four, and he mouths the word, now?
No.
He looks back at the two augmented bodyguards. Not as big as Manny, but sizable in their own way.
I step forward. Although you may deny him an audience, you should not deny him your manners. Marcus, please, forgive my friend. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Bishop Alexinho de Pescado, as I reach a hand out to shake his. We are representatives of Ibarra Domin. We're very, very fascinated by the great lengths and advancements in scientific technology that you've been able to procure in such a short time. We are very much looking forward to this.
A cold yet sweaty hand reaches forward. He tests the word Ibarra Domin as he takes the bishop's hand.
So says the Watcher. Smile.
No recognition.
I look to the other two, and then back to him. My eyes scan him up and down, looking for any augmentation, any sub-communicative augmentations.
Roll.
I'll make it a 5.
Success. He has an ID chip in a bracelet on his arm, but that's not all. He has some subdermal implants at the base of his neck, a second ID chip, a locator. He has a data jack just underneath his left ear. Cybernetic augmentation. One of the bodyguards is interested in the handshake. The other is again speaking into his cuff.
I walk up behind the bishop, smiling generously at the good doctor, and turning to the bodyguard and speaking into his cuff. Those are some pretty sweet augs you've got there.
The bodyguard takes real notice of Manny for the first time, and he squares off, sizing up Manny. He just nods once.
Doctor, pardon the interruption by us, but we are here because your work is of great interest to us, great interest to the Watcher, great interest to us as those looking for illumination, as you are no doubt aware. We don't care much for the sales process. We're more interested in the technology and what you have to tell us about it. Perhaps there's a place more intimate than, say, this.
With a deep voice, one of the bodyguards, "Not possible. Doctor doesn't leave our site. We are going to the conference. Doctor, it's time to leave." The doctor looks defeated, his shoulders slump. He looks up.
My face doesn't change. The same polite grin. I look to the doctor and I say, "Well, it appears that we would have to wait until a bit later to have the conversation."
Well, I suppose that depends. I walk directly towards the guard. Slowly. The Taumai Williams Corporation is interested in money, is it not?
We're not in sales.
No.
We just get the doctor where he needs to go. This meeting is over. Doctor, now.
Well, I've been overruled.
You hear that, Your Holiness? It seems like they're trying to override your good graces. And I turn back and I smile down a couple inches at the guard in front of me, and I crush my forehead into his nose as hard as I possibly can.
Thank you so much for checking out this episode of Roleplay or Die. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and comment. It really helps us out. If you want to see more sessions from this channel featuring aggressive role-playing, then please subscribe and ring the notification bell. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to all the collaborators that made this session possible. You literally wouldn't be watching this now if it were not for their time and their preparation and their dedication to this project. So go and spread the love. Share this video with your friends, and as always, roleplay or die.